Good morning. It is the bank holiday Monday. It's the 2nd of June. Yes, the 2nd of June. One thing you will probably see a lot of my vlogs is me second guessing what day or date it is, but it is the 2nd of June today. It is officially week 2 of prep as of today, so we are 7 days down, and I am going to do a little bit more of a actual come with me and vlog style video today. So we are doing the first session of the week, which is going to be full body. Normally I don't train on a Monday because I work in the office, but I'm delighted to be able to get my sessions done earlier in the week now. So I will do 2 days in a row now, Monday, Tuesday, and then rest for 2 days, and then 2 more days at the end of the week on Friday and Saturday, which means Sunday will be free again, which I also had yesterday, which was so nice. It's just lovely to be able to give yourself more time to kind of get ready for the week as well. But for now, we're gonna caffeinate up. I just had a squares bar pre-workout. I do still have oats in my meal plan for pre-workout, but I'm training early today, so I just wanted to get out. So I just have my squares bar, and I will have the oats later on today. Full body will be nice. Nothing is too overtaxing in this, in terms of I'm not hitting the same muscle group over and over and over again. It's a good session. I like it. It's well rounded. So let's do it. Hello. So we are back from the gym, in case you can't tell by my disheveled hair. We are on a hair wash day as well, so please excuse. But I am absolutely starving after that. I felt quite unwell halfway through that session, and I'm not quite sure why. It happened the other day as well, so that's just one to keep an eye on. I had during my session my intra workout that had some carbs in it, which was good to just make sure that I wasn't fully starving or anything like that. That had carbs in it. It had electrolytes, EAAs and creatine as well, so that drink will probably stay for the majority of prep. That was the case last year anyway. We literally only got rid of the intra carb at the very end when calories were super low, so that is really important for me to keep that in. Now I will say, even though I was drinking that, I am still so bloody hungry. So we are going to get post-workout in, which I am so excited about because we added cereal back in. This hasn't been in my plan for over a year, since the start of prep last year. I had oats in, as I said earlier on, and then I also had chicken and rice post-workout, and I just started to get a little bit sick of the chicken and rice because, again, it's just something that we eat all the time and we have no break from. So chicken and rice got taken out of post-workout. I do still have a chicken meal, which I now eat with couscous, but for post-workout now I have cereal, and I'm so excited about these. They happen to have them in Aldi, so I don't know how much I paid for them, but I'm very excited. For cereal, I had, up until today, I had 90 grams on my plan, but now I have 75. So the noise. I did mention in my first video that changes were going to come in the second check-in, and they did. And those changes started yesterday. So yesterday was Sunday into today. So 15 grams of cereal gone from my post-workout, and that's the only change to this meal. I also have protein. I have 35 grams of protein and almond milk to actually eat the cereal in. So 75. Yeah, I already went over 75 grams in my, can you see? In my big bowl. And then in terms of protein, I have a separate shaker for protein now, because the thoughts of having protein and then my intra mixed in the same shaker is just rotten. Mike, look away. I will be moving on to isolate now. I have been having isolate since last prep because I had some terrible digestion issues post-prep, but I had to try this. The Dubai chocolate. I like it in oats. I haven't had it now in my cereal, but the other protein we had was blueberry muffin, so I didn't really fancy that with the Weetabix. So we're gonna give this a go. I have 35 grams of protein in this. just to make sure the protein is high post-workout. And then the squares bar that I ate earlier on was supposed to be a part of my post-workout, so I won't have anything else with this meal right now. I will just have the cereal and the protein. So I have roughly like 200 mils of almond milk. I do weigh it just so I kind of know how much I'm getting in, but it's not to track it at this point in time anyway. Closer we get to the end, I see the cereal's going to be gone anyway pretty soon, so it won't be an issue. We'll probably go to rice cakes or something like that. Today, as I said earlier on as well, I do want to try and get organised for the week to come. Now, Tuesdays I do work from home, so I don't really have to prep a huge amount, but I do want to go into the week on the best foot as possible. So hopefully I'll get some meal prep done today, as well as sorting out the apartment, because that just seems to be all I do now in my spare time, is clean and hoover and do clothes. But such is life. This is the excitement that you're going to get on this channel until things start to actually like ramp up on prep. But this is ready. I am going to eat it, and I do also have another exciting part of today, which hopefully I can manage to do today, is I have a package to unbox. I am partnering up with a brand for the next 3 months, but I haven't opened my package yet because I was waiting to share on YouTube, and I will post more on my Instagram as well. Yeah, we can open that together. I'm very excited to see everything and to test everything out. So we will do that later on, but for now, cereal. Hello, we are back. So before I do head off for the day, I've hit such a slump. So I'm going to make my next meal now. But before I do that, I thought I would get my spirits up and share the package that I was talking about in the last clip. I have received a package from Prozis, and I am really excited because I'd seen a good few people working with them last year and before that, and then again now, and I got my first delivery last week, and it was so lovely to just be able to go on, pick out a few bits that I liked, and it is across a range of things. So there's clothes, there's accessories, and food and supplements as well. Some things I will be able to use a lot sooner than others, and you will see those bits now. But yeah, this is going to be a monthly thing for the next 3 months at least, and I'm really excited to just actually be able to use the stuff now, because I have been waiting until this month to be able to share these things, and I will post a little bit more about them on Instagram in terms of the bits that I can use now during prep, how I'm getting on with them, how I'm finding them, and stuff like that. So if you ever do have any questions or want any recommendations from Prozis, you can reach out to me, and you can use my link to shop Prozis as well. So in terms of what I got this month, some stuff is gonna have to go out of my sight for the next couple of months, so maybe let's start with those. So Prozis do have like really lovely diet friendly stuff, like 0-calorie sauces and syrups, on top of supplements as well, but they do also have a few nice little treats and indulgent things. So the first thing that I got, and this is actually the first thing I added to my order, was this caramel crunch topping. And I just thought, like, it just looks so good. It just looks like little chunks that would be perfect in a creamy, in yogurt, even in oats. Obviously not for now, this is not in my plan, but I am going to very much look forward to having this on top of maybe a creamy, because myself and Nick are literally talking about getting one today. Could be amazing. Macros, yeah, it's pretty much just full of sugars, but for a small portion you wouldn't be going too wrong. So that is one of the nicer treat bits that you can get on Prozis, as well as I got a pack of 2 protein bars that look incredible. Again, something that's gonna have to go into storage, but this is the Billion protein bar. It's peanut and gold chocolate flavored, so like a Caramac kind of a flavor. I think when I was looking on the website, they are roughly like 300 calories per bar. Yeah, they're around 300 calories per bar and 20 grams of protein. So not like out of the ordinary for a protein bar, but just have to be mindful that it's not the best form of protein in the world. However, I am very excited to try these, and I can imagine they're going to be so nice. So post show, I think I'll pack one of these in my bag and heat it up in the microwave, and it will be amazing, I hope. And they had regular chocolate versions of this, white chocolate as well, and a few different flavors too, but the gold chocolate definitely stood out to me, so exciting. Another slight treat, but I am going to be eating this. I actually went and bought peanut butter in the shop yesterday, two types, forgetting that I had this waiting for me, but they have so many nut butters that look incredible. Like, this was probably the toughest choice that I had to make in my order, was which type of nut butter to get. They had like a maple pecan one, caramel, just regular peanut butter, almond butter, loads. And they had like protein kind of Nutella and chocolate spreads too. But this called my name. Peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter, caramel flavor. This is what she looks like. I was really intrigued to see kind of like what the macros and stuff would look like compared to my other peanut butter that I have. And actually this has slightly less fats and carbs. So very interesting. I'm actually going to make my oats now, so I might put this in and I will report back and let you know. And trust me, this is going to be a monthly thing where I pick a different nut butter. Sticking with kind of food side of things, and then I'll finish on the clothes and accessories. I got 2 sachets of Clear Whey. They had a couple of flavors, nice and fresh flavors. I got the green apple. I had one of these the other day, and it's perfect, exactly what you would expect from a Clear Whey. It's so handy just to mix with water and have, it feels a little bit like having squash. So if you do struggle with your protein intake, obviously prioritizing whole foods, but after that, this is really, really handy. You don't need to worry about that like protein texture and mixing it with milk and bleh. Just throw water in it, and there is 20 grams of protein per serving, which is 25 grams, and only 90 calories. So it is really good. It's very standard for Clear Whey. But yeah, I got on very well with it the other day. It's also isolate, so that's great for digestion, as I mentioned earlier on. And speaking of digestion, they have a good few different versions of this, which are like water, little sachets that you add to your water. I went for the digestive version, and it has digesime. I don't know why that sounds so funny to say out loud. I'm probably completely butchering the pronunciation of it, but I know that supplements like Digest Max would have that complex in it, and they are super expensive, so I'm very excited to try these. It just has a couple of additions into the flavoring. So this has calcium and digestive enzymes, the digestive enzyme on the front, and it is melon and kiwi flavor. They just come in sachets. There's 8 in a packet. They were super cheap as well. I think they were like €3. You add those into your water. I think these will be nice to bring with me to the office for when I just kind of have that midday slump, which I get literally every day, and I always want to get a Pepsi or a Monster or something. I think this will be nice, and after eating as well, after meals, worth a shot. For some clothes and accessories, they have so much. So they have like training accessories like ankle cuffs, straps, wraps. They have really cool socks, sports bras, underwear, leggings, tops, shoes. When I say shoes, I will show you the shoes that I got first. What I realized when I did my first day of cardio at home was that I didn't bring any sliders with me, and I like to do my cardio in sliders or sandals, just because obviously it's super warm, you're going to be sweating, and I wore my slippers and I was sliding all over the pedals of the bike. So I got sliders, and I was in need of some new ones, to be fair. Mine are super old. So I got the bubble sliders. They are a sage green colour. They had literally all the colours under the sun. They had a cute pink, browns, dark and light. They had black, they had grey. But for my size, I went for the lovely minty sage green. They have some really cool other designs as well, kind of like more Yeezy style, if you want to think kind of on those side of things, and also more croc style. But for me, I just went with the kind of standard ones. Really happy with them. They seem like they're going to be so comfy, but I might be brave next month and get a more out there pair. But these will be literally perfect for doing my cardio here, take it in my gym bag for the Stairmaster as well. Very excited about those. And then we got 2 pairs of leggings. So I do have the packaging here. Let me start with the pair that actually match that pair. These are the BFF leggings in green. Match those sliders perfectly, and I think like with a top like this could be really cute. So these are them. It's obviously really hard to see when you just hold up a pair of leggings, and they've been in the packaging, so they do look quite funky. But the back is lovely. It has the prosies at the top. It has a scrunch bum, and it also has some compression as well under the glutes too. So I am very looking forward to trying these on. These are really nice and stretchy, like super stretchy, and same with the waistband. It's a little more compressive, but it is really forgiving. So I think I will be wearing these straight away. Seems so comfortable. Again, so many colors. And these guys are the Peach Perfect leggings in Bordeaux. Both of these I got in a size small. These, however, are going to have to wait a little while. They are very compressive, very, very compressive. Like, that is me reefing them apart. They're a thicker material, and they also do have this scrunch bum, if you can tell, as well as a little bit of compression. It's more so on the sides, so kind of like your quads and hamstrings area. That will be really nice and defined with this. Yeah, it is just a lot more of a compressive material, so straight off the bat I just know with the way that I am feeling in myself, I probably won't be training in these. I will try them on. I think they'll fit. I just think I'll be a bit more comfortable in them towards the second half of prep, and that's totally fine. And they do have a really cute little P on the inside as well, so if you find them too high-waisted, you can roll them over, and it's really cute. I've seen a few people do that on the website. So they're really nice quality though, like, and I can imagine once they're on, it's really gonna suck you in here at the waist. So I will definitely give them a go. I'm just a tiny bit nervous about them, but they could be absolutely fine, and I could surprise myself and feel fine in them. Those are the bits. I'm really happy with everything I got. Like, it is a nice mix of stuff that I can use straight away, and then stuff that will have to be put on hold for a little while, especially like these 2 little treat bits here. But in terms of the bits that I can try now, my peanut butter, I'm literally going to try it right now when I turn off the camera. So as I said, you can use my link. I will leave it down below. I don't get anything for using the link or anything like that. It's just to track how many eyes are on my content. And if you do have any questions or need any recommendations or help with finding the product that's right for you in terms of supplements, protein, the right size in clothes and leggings, let me know and I will be happy to help. But yeah, that is my little unboxing to perk me up for the middle of the day. I'm gonna go and make my oats now and then hit the road to Dublin. So I will probably report back later this evening when all of that is done and dusted, and Nick will probably be home. Hello, so it is actually the next day. I am back in work, and I just thought I would update. This is going to end up being a week 2 of prep across the week vlog and not just a Monday vlog. So apologies for that. And it means it's going to be a longer one, but it will be nice because I'll be able to capture some more updates as well, because I will be checking in again tomorrow. So yes, it is Tuesday today. We are back in work, just playing catch up. People looking for me. To be fair, my day won't be too crazy because I am just coming back from holidays. Normally, like, for the job that I do, it is quite intense when you consider the level of job that I have, which is not that serious. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things. I work in advertising, and sometimes it is just absolutely, like, you can't even comprehend how busy it is. But today I'm gonna take a slower day for now, at least a slower start to the day, because it's very, very rare that I do get it. But in terms of prep, I've had a bit of a meltdown this morning because after being down in weight, down on the scales and feeling better earlier on, I suppose the later half of last week, I'm now back up to where I started again. So I weighed in at 55.9 again this morning, and I actually woke up in a lot of pain as well in my tummy. It has somewhat passed, but it wasn't good. It wasn't comfortable. I did train this morning, I did glutes this morning like I planned, and it was just mid, like it was probably a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10 session. I still did it, I did everything, and I tried to progress as much as I could, but yeah, it was just uncomfortable. On an all black outfit, big jumper, and just tried to put my head down and do it. I am feeling a little bit better, but yeah, the frustration is definitely there, and Nick did have to give me a pep talk this morning. I will probably get one from Mike tomorrow as well when I check in that, like, this is my second prep, yes, but it's only my second prep. And there are going to be things that are going to come up that I need to experience and I need to learn. And one of those things is, as I mentioned briefly in my first video, was I did let things slide a little bit towards the end of my off season, whereby I was chasing my tail with meals. I wasn't getting them all in every day consistently. So there is a chance that across the week, because I'm now being 110% consistent and adherent across the week on an average, my last month or so of my off season, I might not have actually been eating the amount of calories that I was supposed to be. And now I may be eating the same calories, even though on paper those calories have dropped. So as much as at the time it was just like, I can't fit in any more food, I don't have the space in my stomach, whatever the reason was, that didn't feel like such a big deal at the time. Now it does. And now I am not like paying the price for it, not to be so dramatic, but I am seeing the effect of it. So it is something that I am going to be so mindful of when it comes to off season next year, especially because it's going to be a much longer off season. So I suppose things in that sense will be a little bit more gradual. But yeah, I am very much kicking myself now for allowing it to happen. Yes, I could have force fed myself and eaten at like 11 o'clock at night, but then it would have just made me feel so much worse and I was already getting uncomfortable. So lesson learned, do as much as you possibly can to try and stick to every single calorie that is laid out for you, no matter what phase you are in, because now I'm feeling it now. But look, at least training is done. I have 2 rest days now, with 2 days in the office on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm actually out for part of the day tomorrow as well, having a lunch with some clients. So that's going to be fun, how to navigate that. It's not that difficult though. I can bring my food with me. I can not eat and I can just get a drink, and then I can eat when I get back to the office, before and after. Or I can take a look at the menu and try and figure out what is as close as physically possible and what alterations I can make to make that fit into my plan. So I had a little look, and like, let's take a Caesar salad for example. They have a grilled chicken, so that's perfect. Yeah, grilled chicken, lettuce, get rid of the Caesar dressing, get rid of the pine nuts as well probably. And I will probably keep in the croutons because I would normally have a good bit of carbs with my chicken meal anyway. So I have roughly like 250 calories worth of rice or couscous depending on the day. So straight away there, I'm thinking that's not the worst idea in the world. However, what I will be doing is telling Mike, running it by Mike and seeing what he thinks. I will send him the menu, I will send him what I'm thinking, and he can send me if there is a choice he would rather I make. Because I am this early in prep, I don't feel so bad about that potential. However, this wouldn't be a thing that I'm going to be doing going forward at all, but it is just something to mention that I do now have to factor these things in to my life. This is part of my job, client entertainment and building relationships and stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to be a weirdo and sit there. Not that it's a weird thing to do, but from the outside, it probably looks weird and sit there with a Coke Zero for 2.5 hours. So yes, this is another layer to add to the prep this year. But going forward, after this point, I will just bring my meal prep, especially if it's like an internal thing, like if I'm just going out with my colleagues, that's fine. They know what the story is now, but for now, I will try and be involved as much as possible. That is the update. I literally said I was going to be as honest and open as possible, so you are getting everything. You are getting me giving out, even though I'm only 1 week in, but lessons are being learned already. And motivation is now really bloody high. Like, I know that I'm already doing everything that I possibly can, but I am now even more so driven to do better. Not that I can do better than everything that I'm being asked to do, but to do better than last year. And I know I will get there. I need to remember that, yes, it is relatively short in the scheme of a prep before my first show, but I do still have 16, 15 plus weeks. That is a lot of time. That is plenty of time, and we're just getting started. So that's my little update for today. I will check in over the next couple of days as well after I do my check-in and get my updates across from Mike. Obviously 2 days in the office, so it won't be the most opportune chance to vlog, but I will pop back on and finish this up with a couple more updates throughout the week. It's now Thursday evening. See what I mean about like always second guessing myself what day it is or time or date. It's Thursday evening. I am just back from work and I am just about to get ready to do cardio. So as I said, I checked in yesterday on Wednesday, and initially I thought that there wasn't any changes, which was surprising to me because my weight stayed the same again. So back at 55.9 yesterday when I checked in, and again having a little bit of a freaker, but I thought there was no changes. There's no changes made to food, but we did, however, get a little bit more cardio, which is absolutely fine, because to be honest, when I thought there was no changes, I was kind of like, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. Like, we're into week 2 now and it would have been week 3 of cardio at the same level. I'm actually feeling like a little bit more confident and relieved after I realised. I was like, okay, actually I now have 5 days of cardio at 20 minutes each. So that's an increase, gone from 60 minutes per week to 100. So I am going to get on that now. I never really did cardio in the evening times last year, but I did it a couple times last week and it was honestly fine. I thought it would be a lot harder after a full day of work and eating, but it's actually grand. I'm just going to grab the bike from here. I could have faced this way. Grab the bike from here, put on my pajamas, shorts, because that is the cardio uniform if you don't know. And I will pop a vlog on the TV. 20 minutes, it will be over really, really soon. And actually Nick will be home any minute now as well. So like if we're chatting and stuff like that, it will pass the time. Then we go into prepping meal 5 for this evening. I'll be having eggs, avocado and sourdough and berries. It's my rest day food. We will get into cardio. I will also insert my check-in pictures from yesterday here. Again, yesterday I woke up really quite uncomfortable in my tummy. It did pass. Once I got into the office, it kind of passed. And then I ended up having an extra serving of electrolytes when I came home last night because I felt a bit funky again on the train. So I don't really know what's going on there. I am very on top of like my water, my electrolytes and all that. My salt is pretty good as well. So bit of a strange one. We will keep an eye on it, as I said the other day. But yeah, I felt quite uncomfortable again yesterday morning, but actually my check-in pictures were okay. I was fine with them, all things considered. Considering I was weighing the same, I do think I was posing slightly better than I was on Saturday and last Wednesday as well. So there were improvements, and I will be checking in again on Saturday. So we'll see what happens. The weight was actually down this morning, so we're good, we're chilled. And that was after the client lunch that I mentioned in the previous clip as well. So I went, I had my Caesar salad. I actually ended up having a Caesar salad sandwich. So yeah, Mike was like, have this, don't stress it. The worst thing that you can do is stress it, because that's just going to put your body under pressure. And we know what stress hormones can do to our body, which is just set everything back and make you hold on to everything and not drop any weight, not drop any water. So just go in, enjoy it, relax. And I did. And actually, I woke up lighter and feeling better this morning. So there you go. It won't be a frequent thing, but it was nice to do still and not feel like I was putting myself back at all. As well as my normal check-in, I also got a posing check-in back from Hannah yesterday with a few little points to work on. It is kind of at that point where we can be a little bit more picky about the feedback and really nail down smaller things. Apart from the walk, that's just never going to be perfect, but I'm going to do my best to try and make it as good as it can be for me, because if I'm looking at other people and thinking, why don't I move like that or walk like that, it's just going to, again, stress me out and throw me off and set me back. So trying to zone in on myself and myself only, and trying to hold myself a little bit higher in my posing practice, because I do think that the kind of self-consciousness and the second guessing myself and feeling like I look silly, if I can find a way to shake that off, it's going to be 10 times better. It's going to look 10 times more natural. So that's kind of the goal for this coming week and weeks. And then we have another little thing that we want to work on in our next lesson together, which I have to book for kind of mid-month. So yeah, it was a nice day. I love when I get feedback of any kind in, like my check-ins. I love a check-in day. I don't love taking the pictures sometimes, but I love getting the feedback and seeing what I have to do next. And it's the same with posing. Having pointers to work on is just so helpful, rather than just going in and just doing the routine over and over and over again. So it was a good and productive day yesterday, and relatively nice and chill week back in work, which is, as I said, rare. So feeling happy about that. I am going to go now and get the pajamas on, get the bike out, get the sliders on from Prosies that you saw, and get this cardio done before I have my last meal, shower, and then bed, because we're back up before work for upper tomorrow. You have joined me in the posing room of the gym. Now, I did forget my mic, so I'm hoping that the shift in audio levels won't be too aggressive and won't give you whiplash. But I did want to do a little check-in somewhere that wasn't within the four walls of my apartment. The four small walls of my apartment. I'm now in the four small walls of the posing room in the gym. So it is Friday afternoon. I trained upper this morning. I had a really, really good session this morning before work, which was surprising because I promise these are going to get better and I'm not going to be complaining as much, but I did wake up in bits again today. Without going into too much detail, I went to bed heavy last night and I woke up heavy and heavier. So the scales were very much against me this morning, but by the time it was time for me to go and train, everything was a lot better and I felt better. And I touched new weights that I've never touched before on shoulder press and on my rear delts as well, which are huge accomplishments for me because I really do struggle to progress in both of those areas. So the prep kick up the ass is definitely working. So really good session. Then I have half days on Fridays in work within reason. Like if things need to happen past 1 o'clock, they can happen, which was the case today. So I ended up logging off just before 3 and I am here now. Did my cardio, my 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, which I found so much easier than the bike last night. That bike last night, I was like coming out in a heat rash and everything. I was so warm. I was trying not to fall off it as well because our apartment is wonky. The floors are like this in the kitchen. Don't talk, don't chat. So I enjoyed, the word enjoy, I use that very loosely, but I did enjoy it more than I enjoyed the bike, the Stairmaster today. 20 minutes on the stairs. I was watching one of Emma Curvin's vlogs, her latest vlog, as she gets ready for her 3rd show. I've been really enjoying those. And then I finished up by just going over my feedback from Hannah on my posing, because I knew that I wanted to do some posing after. So I just wanted to refresh the exact points that she wants me to work on. So I had a look back on that, took the pointers on board that I needed to work on, and oh my god, was that tough practice today, but I think it worked. I think it was worth it. So I am trying to fix my back pose. As we know, the area that I really needed to bring up from last year is my upper body and my upper back, and getting that hourglass shape so that I balance from top to bottom, which funnily enough wasn't actually in the feedback that I got from Peter, the head judge of my show. He just kind of told me I needed to be more conditioned, I think harder in my legs, and have more upper glute, which every single bikini girl is always going to be told that she probably needs more upper glute. So yeah, he didn't actually mention any upper body, but we know just from looking at the pictures and the videos that I do. So myself and Hannah have been working really hard on my back pose, and we have come so far in a relatively short time with it. But in my latest check-in, I was kind of like pinching my shoulders together a little bit, so getting a bit of tension through my shoulder blades, and that is going to obviously tighten or make my back look narrower, and we need to make it look wider. So we were playing around with different hand placements in my back pose, so bringing my hands a lot further forward and actually pushing my shoulders or my elbows forward rather than tucking them back. So it feels so strange, but I know it will feel better soon. And even like I just took a screenshot there of what my back pose looks like. It's like doubled in size. My back is doubled in size. So Hannah is amazing. So I'm gonna send her that screenshot and be like, but it was not easy, and it is going to take work to perfect and to make sure I can hit it like that, because right now it's taking me probably at least 30 seconds to settle into it. So, but it's my first day trying it. So yeah, it was a really good session. I practiced my walk as well, which we know is a huge area for me, and actually I was just like, do you know what, I'm gonna go in. And I was inspired by Erin. There's another Erin who trains in the same gym as me. She's in her first prep this year for wellness, and she posted an update last night, and it included some clips of her walk, and she just looked so confident. The walk looked so good that I was like, I'm going to go into this session, I'm going to channel the other Erin, and it actually worked. So shout out to you, Erin, for that. I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to not care, and that worked a treat. So thank you for that. I'm going to watch those clips back and see. They probably didn't look nearly as good as they felt, but the fact that they felt good is a start. Yeah, I'm really happy. I feel so good today. Ready to check in again tomorrow and see what happens, see what's in store for me. But yeah, really lovely finish to the week. It is Sunday morning, and before you think, oh, this week is just a once off, like she'll probably come on here and look a bit more presentable in the majority of her vlogs going forward, this is it. This is what you're going to get up until show day. That's going to be the most presentable you're going to get me, is show day with my makeup on from Danielle. Kind of was a little bit like, should I be putting in more effort into my appearance and stuff like that for these vlogs? But this is, as I've said so many times before already, like just the most realistic insight that I want to give to prep and what my life looks like on prep. And this is it. Like, it is very low maintenance around here, so I do hope that is okay. Thank you so much if you have made it this far with me. I know that this is a long one. I do have the clips previous to this edited and ready already, but I just wanted to sign off properly at the end of the week and keep you in the loop, as things didn't really go to plan yesterday. So I started feeling a little bit under the weather on Friday evening, which is funny because obviously the clip that you just saw, like I was in such a good mood, I had really good energy, my session had been good, my posing had been good, and Mike, my coach, had actually checked in with me and been like, hey, I see the weight was up today, are you okay, are you feeling okay, a few people are sick, are you good? And I was like, I'm honestly really good, I'm the best I've been all week. And then I wasn't. I just started to get like a little bit of cold and flu symptoms kind of thing in my throat. So when I checked in yesterday, I just mentioned it, kept him updated, and we decided that we would rest yesterday because I had trained on Monday. I had a choice between Saturday, Sunday to train anyway, so it wasn't going to set me back at all. And obviously, if you do feel sick and you genuinely do feel sick and you're not just like telling yourself that you do and you're like, and you're looking for an excuse not to train and do the shit that you have to do, the chances are if you do go ahead and train and try and push yourself, it is just going to make things worse. So we rested yesterday on Saturday, and I have woken up today feeling somewhat better. I can feel it moving. I think I'm going to go ahead and train today. I'm supposed to train lower, which will be very interesting because if you're not feeling 100% training lower, rip. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to see how it feels. I'm not even going to go in and say, oh, I'm going to, do high reps and lower weight. I'm just going to go in and see how I feel, and I will adjust each individual movement based on how I feel. And if it's not the best session in the world, it's fine. I just would like to get it done. So I'm going to do that this morning, do my cardio afterwards, and if I have time left over, do a little bit of a pose because my back is still so sore. Like yesterday it was screaming at me, so that was another kind of reason why I was glad I was getting to rest. Screaming at me from the practice on Friday. Like this is no joke. But I'm hoping it will be worth it. So yeah, if I do have a couple of minutes to spare after my session and my cardio, I will do a bit of posing as well. On the bright side, we obviously weighed in again this morning, and I am now back to kind of my midweek low, even though it's not really a low. But yes, so we are taking it that 55.6 is kind of my most real weight this week, without the fluctuations, without the inflammation, without the sickness. So finally we are capping off the week with a little bit of a drop on the scales. So we're going to take that and run with it and just be excited for next week to feel better and to be able to make more changes, because again, he has signposted that there are going to be more changes, which I am very, very receptive to and open to and looking forward to. So that is me. That has been this week. It has been a roller coaster with my weight, obviously, and also this little sickness thrown into the mix. But overall, I'm happy with what I did. I did what I was asked to do. I didn't do any less, and that's what counts. Going into next week ready to move again, and hoping that the next vlog will be a little bit more positive and also maybe informative. So we shall see what happens next week. I will probably do more of a standalone video next week rather than filming majority of the days throughout the week, just so it's not super similar so early on in the vlogs. I want to try and vary things a little bit because this is what my life looks like every week, so we don't need to see the same exact thing every week, just me getting leaner, hopefully. Next week may just be a one-day vlog, it may just be a sit-down video. We will see what happens. But if you have made it this far, literally congrats to you and thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope that this has shown how unpredictable things can be on prep, even when you are doing everything according to plan, and just to try and trust the process, because that is my biggest piece of advice that I always give to my own clients, is just like trust things. Even when it feels hard, there is a plan in place here and your coach has your best interests at heart, and if things need to change, they will change. Trust it if not. But I can be a very bad person for taking my own advice. So I'm hoping that this vlog will remind me of that and will remind you of that as well, if you are struggling at the minute with your fat loss, weight loss, whatever journey you might be on. So yes, thank you so much for spending the week with me. Thank you for watching the last video, and I can't wait for the next.